You have just tapped into the Christian Life Coach Collective, and I'm your host, Laura Malone. I'm here to equip and encourage coaches in skills, business, personal life, and faith. I believe you're already 100% worthy and capable, and you're called for such a time as this. So let's get you walking it out with courage and confidence so you can be an amazing coach who sees transformation and great results in both your life and the lives around you. Let's get started. All right, so we're talking about client breakthroughs still, and some of the parts and pieces of what really helps somebody experience a shift from point A to point B and get results that they want. And if you want the most consistent breakthroughs in your client sessions, one of the biggest things you can do is to create and build emotional safety. Because a client's not going to go any deeper than they feel safe to go. And that depends so much, not just on them, but on you and the way that you present, the way that you show up, the way that you create and hold space. And honestly, you and I wouldn't go deeper than we feel safe to go with somebody else if we were the client. So you have to remember that safety is essential. It's structural. It's foundational. It's not fluff, right? It's the foundation that the rest of the session is going to sit on and rest on. It's going to depend upon the foundation you set. And that emotional safety starts with us as the coach. Our tone, the pace we go through, and our posture, even our breathing, right? So it all matters because it's part of how we are showing up. It's how we are guiding as a coach or simply just a guide. We're asking questions. We're saying, hey, do you want to take a left here? Do you want to take a right here? Okay, I'm going with you. All right, how's it feel to have taken a right? Do you regret taking a left? Should we have taken a left? Do you need to pivot? You're just asking questions. We're guiding people. And if you think about it, if you're nervous, then you're going to bring nervousness to the session. We're going to create a nervous client. If you are regulated emotionally, then you're going to create a regulated session. And there's going to be room for regulation in the work that you're doing and for your client. So when you're able to slow your thoughts, you're going to be able to slow your voice. And they're going to be able to relax and their shoulders are going to drop. They're going to take deeper breaths because you're modeling how to move through the session. And if think about that, what people love, our brains love a box, give us a direction, show us a model. And when you can be relaxed and be yourself, and maybe that looks like you bring energy, but it's peaceful energy. It's not anxiety. It's not nervousness. It's not overthinking, right? I'm pretty high energy in a lot of my coaching sessions, but I pray beforehand, I pray during, and I am constantly trying to still be at peace, not be in my head, but create space to get into the client's head so they can get the greatest results because it's not about me. So when I am bringing myself back to center and I'm emotionally regulated, I'm not in my head, or I'm not navel gazing, I'm not afraid, then I show up in a peaceful way and I'm grounded. So they have someplace safe to land, basically. You're creating the safety and the space for their story. I think it's especially true when you do pray beforehand and during your sessions and you invite the peace of God to be with you, to be present in the session as well. It's one of the reasons why it's important to avoid diagnosing or rushing to make sense of things. I will say that if you're one of my clients, this is a struggle for me. And it's partly just me and my personality, my makeup, and my habits. And part of it is somewhat ADHD, that it's the interrupting me. The part of me that's an interrupter. part of that is because I'm a banterer and I really like to talk back and forth. I have literally never feel like I get interrupted because it's not part of my paradigm. I talk over people and I'm not trying to be rude. My mom used to hate it. And I would really have to work hard. And I know I do it in my sessions. It's a thing I actually try to be aware of. But the problem is I work with amazing people and I would be friends with any of these clients. And so we do get to become friends, especially for the clients that I've worked with for years. So I get comfortable and I show up as me, the way I'm talking to you right now. And if you were talking, you probably have listened to some of my episodes where I am, it's an interview or a live coaching session or whatever. It's a conversation with somebody. And you'll hear me interrupt, but I say, like, on some people's side, they think I'm interrupting, and other people, they're banterers like I am, and they don't notice. So I'm going to tell you to try to be aware of how much you interrupt. But I also can't say that I'm perfect at that. And it's just a thing where you find things that you need to work on, right? So the moment that you shift into fixing mode, they shift into performance mode. That can kill a work, right? Thinking about the things that you do, like the interrupting, the diagnosing, or the rushing to fix or make sense of something, can break down the effectiveness. And really, you being present sometimes means more than your advice. Sometimes just saying things like, take your time. No rush. We have time for you to process this. Can communicate to them, their limbic system, their nervous system, that you're not too much for me. I have time for you. There's no timer. The police aren't watching and waiting for you to spit it out, right? So think through this. Breakthroughs aren't going to happen under pressure. They're going to happen in the midst of peace. And when there's peace and calm, even if there's high energy and the client feels seen and you're not trying to prove anything, you're not trying to hurry anything along, that deeper story can have time to come forward, and then shift can happen, right? So your job is to create the kind of environment where change doesn't have to fight its existence. Basically, you want to be able to create an atmosphere of peace and space and hope. Let's just for example, if a client is disappointed, don't go straight to reframing it or trying to cheer them up or tell them it's going to be fine or they don't need to feel that way, right? That's just your discomfort talking, not what they need. So think about saying something like, it looks like that might be heavy for you. Or I can tell that didn't go the way you were hoping it would. That's going to open the door instead of shutting their feelings down, because we're their coach. We're not there to shut their feelings down. We're there to give them space. If they start crying, you can see tears well up in their eyes. Don't rush past that just because you don't know what to say. It's okay to not know what to say. Just acknowledge it and say, I see that this really matters to you. They are wanting validation because we don't get validation from the people around us. Like when you have a coach, when you work with a coach, the fact that you get to talk about what you need to say, what needs to come out of you, and then you feel validated is worth so much. If you are a newer coach, you've never been coached, and you've never experienced this, I highly recommend that you experience it with somebody, because then you're going to understand that when you get quiet, it's actually really valuable. If you think that as a coach, you're supposed to have all the answers and you're supposed to know what to say, you're going to try to fill the space because you think that's what's creating value. But when you experience for yourself that when somebody just allows you to be you where you are right now, and what's in you to come up and out as it needs to, you're going to understand the value of you offering the same thing for your clients and for the people in your life, the relationships that you have. Validation allows the space to be open and honest in a session. If you have a client that you think is frustrated, don't immediately try to fix or untangle whatever's going on. I would say frustration a lot of times means people are hitting a limit of something. Like maybe it's a limit of talking about this. Maybe their limit is, I feel trapped in a cycle. Maybe their limit is, this feels like an injustice. It's, who knows? But just say something like, I notice a little frustration. So what's happening for you right now? And give them some time to consider it. They might not even know that that's what this is. Maybe they feel it in their body. They don't recognize it's coming through on their face and that you're noticing it. And when you give them a chance to recognize it, then they can go, wow, I didn't even realize I was frustrated. Or I knew I was feeling something, but I didn't name it as frustration, right? And then you help them tune into what they're experiencing instead of just powering through and getting over it. If they get quiet, they pull back, they withdraw a little bit. Don't fill the silence. Allow your discomfort to settle. Just speak to it even. Say, oh, discomfort within me. You can be like a psalmist. Why are you so discomforted, my soul? And you don't need to create story. You don't need to create an explanation. Just stay steady for them. Give them some time to let them be quiet. When was the last time somebody gave you permission to be in the room and be quiet? And you can just even say after a minute, I notice you have gotten a little quiet. So do you want to talk about what's going on the inside right now? And that question is going to reveal the real story that's hiding underneath. And they want that. If a client is laughing when something is painful, don't let their humor become a distraction. And don't let it offend you. Just get curiosity, right? I hear you laughing and I wonder what's the emotion underneath it. So it allows them to be really where they are, experiencing what they're experiencing, but not shaming them. Sometimes people will laugh or have an emotion or an expression that seems different than what you think the situation calls for. That's okay. They have permission, right? This is part of creating emotional safety for your clients is non-judgment, non-attachment. You're not judging what they bring to the session, and you're not attached to what they bring or what they do or the outcome. So it's okay if somebody doesn't have the emotion or expression about a situation that you would have or that you think they should have. Don't get distracted by that. Just invite them to experience what might be underneath it and give them space for it. Guide them. If they start talking faster, they start rambling on, they start over-explaining, they start throwing out the disclaimers, all of the things, you can stay steady, stay centered, and you don't have to match their speed. If they start spiraling, you don't have to spiral with them, right? You stay steady and centered. And then you can remind them, we don't have to rush this. I'm here for you. Let's take this one piece at a time. And then you actually create a pace that you're going at that feels natural and normal and peaceful. You model it and it will help them regulate their pace. Oftentimes they're not even going to notice how fast they're starting to talk, or a little adrenaline push or a little fight that pops up, instead of freezing, they start fighting instead of fleeing. They get a little worked up. It's okay. You stay at pace, you stay centered, and model to them that they can come back to what you've created. And I would say if they start looking like they feel shame, if they're listening to some shame tapes, if they start apologizing to you that they are crying or for how they feel, or they think that the way that they are processing is wrong, don't try to fix or rescue them. Just say, it's okay. And let it be. Like, let them know that you're not going to partner with any shame spiral. You're not going to agree with what the shame tapes say. And you don't need the apology, but you're also not going to try to talk them out of being sorry. Like, you're just going to let them be and say, nothing you're saying, nothing you're processing is too much for right now. Your feelings make sense in light of what we've talked about or what you've walked through. And if they get angry, don't brace yourself against it. And I would say, like, just consider if you see anger rising up, and especially if you feel that anger is a really hard emotion for you to process with other people or allow other people to feel, don't try to redirect it. Don't try to suppress it. Don't show that you're bracing yourself against it because you're scared of it. Just stay centered, be grounded, and say, I hear some intensity in that. Tell me what that anger is pointing to. So usually there's something underneath the anger, like fear or pain. And so it's going to soften. It's going to, the hard corners of anger will get rounded off if you give them space and time for it to be, named, described, and experienced. And most of the time, people don't have safe places to be angry and be honest about it. So be the kind of coach that makes the space for that. It's amazing. That's the kind of emotional safety that people are looking for in coaching. So all of these moments are invitations to connect. And it's not time for you to correct. It's time to connect, right? That's what emotional safety is about. It's built on little micro responses where you say, let's stay centered. There's room for you. And the client gets to realize, I can be honest. I don't have to hide. This is my time. So all of this is the same skill in different forms. It's like being curious, noticing what's happening in front of you, hold space, don't rush, don't fix. And when you recognize what a client needs in the moment and you stay grounded enough to offer it, then that emotional safety becomes the natural atmosphere of your coaching. And that's what's going to make breakthroughs possible for both your clients and for you. So my challenge for you this week is that in your next session, or even just next conversation with somebody, focus on your tone and your pace and being centered for yourself, and ask yourself, like, what would I feel safe if I was being coached by me right now, the way I'm showing up? And just in this series, trying to give you some prayers to pray, and you just say, God, let my presence reflect your presence in this session and with my clients. Let me be steady, kind, and let me be able to do this without pressure. And then fill the space with peace so my client can exhale and know that they're safe to be honest and real. I believe in you, friend. You've got this, and you are growing. I'm proud of the work that you're doing. And thanks for continuing to show up and listen to the podcast. And I would love if you could go to Apple Podcast and just leave a 5-star review. Tell me how you feel. You can connect with me. Click all the links in the show notes, and you can go to the website sterlingandstonecoaching.com and see all of the ways that you can work together. I know there's a lot of holidays coming up, lots of stuff shifting, and I want you to be able to not only offer to guide other people, your relationships, the people around you, the clients that God brings you. I want you to be able to show up well there, but I also want you to be able to show up for yourself. And I encourage you to listen to the Storymakers podcast. It's a second podcast that I have. I started at the beginning of this year specifically for showing what's possible and showing up for women of faith who are looking for their true identity, purpose, and belonging, and how to walk in self-leadership, take personal responsibility for becoming a story maker and co-creating their lives with God. And so check that out. Leave a review over there too. And yeah, you can always email me at laura@sterlingandstonementoring.com and let me know if there are specific things that you would like to hear about on the podcast. That would be awesome. Even the different kinds of guests you would like to hear from. I am totally interested in what you have to say. I read every email. I pray over everything. And I want to be able to serve you as well as I can. I want to show you what's possible. I want to bring you hope. I want to give you tools and equip you so you can be released to do what God's called you to do. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. For more coaching resources and to learn how to work with me, head to sterlingandstonementoring.com or click the link in the show notes. Remember, walk boldly in your calling, and I'll talk to you next time.